What's up, guys? It's your boy PJ here, aka The Paradox Nerd, back again with another statue unboxing and review. And today we got the XM Studios Brown Wolverine in the house, ready to be unboxed and reviewed. Stay tuned, it's coming up next. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. So real quick before I do my unboxing and review, I just want to let you guys know that this is actually not my statue. It is actually my boy Subaru Shimizu's, who was kind enough to let me borrow it and unbox it and review it for you guys. So shout out to you, Subaru Shimizu, for always supporting my channel and for always being the best of the west of the rest. And also shout out to Spec Fiction for the fast shipping on this bad boy. All right, so without further ado, let's get straight into the unboxing. And before I do so, I just want to show you guys the beautiful, beautiful art print that it comes with. Wow, this looks pretty damn dope. All right, so let's unbox this bad boy right now. All right, so let's start off with the packaging. As you can see, really nothing special, just your basic XM Studios black and white theme colors, pretty much all around the packaging here. And let's open this bad boy up. And here in the front, you have some information about Wolverine himself. And here in the back, you just have some information of all the people that were involved with this project. And here's what's inside the box. As you can see, it is packaged really nicely. And I've always been a fan of like these black straps that holds the styrofoam together. All right, let's open this bad boy up. And here is the first layer. As you can see, everything's packaged really nicely. Man, that new statue smell. Damn, nothing beats that. He's got his swords here. Some of his arms here. Here's his other arms. And I believe this might be his head. Not too sure. Yep, one of his heads. Damn, that looks really good, guys. Wow. Alright, so let's get to the next layer. And here is the bottom layer. As you can see, you have his base here. He's got his body. And I think that's it. I'm not sure what this is. We'll find out once I unbox it. But alright, so let's put him together. Alright guys, so I'm almost done putting Wolverine together. The only thing that's left is to install his claws and play around with the switch outs. But first, I just want to put this samurai helmet right on top of the building on the right hand side, just like so. So that looks pretty cool. And next, I do want to show you guys where to put the swords. And to install the swords, you first have to put the handle on. As you can see, it comes in two pieces. And I'm going to put it here to the side. So unfortunately, the slots for the swords are really tiny. So you have to be very careful when you are inserting the sword blades in, because you might end up damaging the base or the sword itself. So just take your time when you are putting the swords in. Let's put on the other one. And voila, looks pretty good. All right, so let's install the claws. First, I'm gonna install it here. Actually, let me take this out first and put the claws in. Okay. And voila. And to be honest, I really love this look. You know, whenever I picture Wolverine, I always picture him ready to pounce on someone and kind of like jab his claws into the enemy. So yeah, this looks really good. All right, let's check out the other arms. Now for this one, I'm gonna install the bone claws in just to see how it looks. I'm not really a fan of the bone claws, so I wouldn't display him with these. So here's the first one, and let's put on the next one. All right, guys, so I swapped out his arms with more outstretched arms, and I installed the bone claws. And yeah, the bone claws look pretty damn dope. I really love the sculpt and the look of it. Really good textures. Really impressed in how these bone claws turned out. You also get an extra 3 just in case you know, you lose a couple of them, or maybe break a couple of them. But yeah, looks pretty damn good. Now let's swap out the portrait with the unmasked portrait and see how that looks. The magnet is strong on the portrait, and as you can see, it looks pretty damn dope. Really impressed with this portrait. And I also forgot to mention that I forgot to install this piece right here. This was kind of floating around inside the packaging, and it actually goes right here in this little slide here in the middle of this roof, or should I say on top of the middle of the roof. And I'm just gonna install that right now. So yeah, I'm not sure why they added this piece on. To be honest, it will look a lot better without it, but I'm just gonna leave it installed for now. But yeah, it just doesn't look right when you put that on. So, all right, so let's swap out the arms and put on the arms that's holding the samurai swords. Okay, so since he's holding the samurai swords, we have to take these out. Take out the blades and install it here, because he's already holding the handles. Okay, I believe this is the left one. Okay, and let's take out the other blade. This one. All right, so here he is holding the samurai swords. All right, guys, so here he is with the masked portrait holding the samurai swords. And yeah, this looks really good. Unfortunately, this is not my favorite look, just because when I think of Wolverine, I think of him with his adamantium claws retracted out, and he's coming at you with more of a a jabbing motion, ready to destroy you or stab you with his adamantium claws. So to me, this is probably my favorite look out of all the looks you could come up with this statue. But I really love the fact that XM Studios gave you the option to display your Wolverine with with different looks. So, but yeah, this one looks really good. All right, so I'm gonna dissect this and come back at you with the review of this statue. All right, guys, so I know you guys seen a lot of reviews online on this XM Studios Wolverine statue. So I'm gonna make mine short and sweet, so hopefully you guys enjoy my review on this beautiful piece. So let's get straight to it. So I'm gonna start off with the base here, and this base is dope as hell. It is probably one of the best looking base I've ever reviewed. I really love this Japanese theme roof structure that Wolverine's on. I really love the sculpt. The paint job on this roof looks absolutely amazing. I am seriously blown away in how this roof turned out. I also love this koi dragon statue that's on top of this roof. It is really sculpted well. I love the paint job on it. I love the weathering all over this statue. As you can see, the swords are sculpted really well. The blades are actually made out of real metal. There's a lot of detail on the grip, and especially the grip handle guard. I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but you can see there are a lot of designs around the guard itself. So pretty cool. I also want to point out how beautiful this samurai helmet turned out. I really love the paint application and weathering all around this helmet, and I'm really happy that they added this to the statue. And you could kind of place it pretty much anywhere you like, so I decided to place it here on the side. Alright, so let's move on to Wolverine, starting off with the boots. As you can see, these boots are sculpted really well, has great textures all around the boots, so it kind of gives off a nice leathery feel and look. Also want to point out they sculpted like zippers here in the back of the boots, so it kind of gives you an idea how Wolverine puts on his boots on the daily. So nice little added touch by XM. And as we move up towards his legs here, great anatomy sculpt on the legs. Great textures all around the legs too, so it kind of gives off a nice stretchy look and feel. Also, I want to point out great shading all around the legs. So looks really good. And when I mentioned that they had great textures all around the legs, that textures kind of carries over all the way up to his chest. So you can see that he is wearing like an outfit that has like a mixture of like leathery and stretchy material. All right, so before we move up towards his chest, I do want to point out how great the sculpt turned out on the belt buckle, and the belt buckle tip. I mean, look at that, guys. That looks amazing, especially the design at the belt buckle tip. All right, so let's move up towards his chest here. As you can see, great anatomy sculpt on the chest. I really love how it's flexed. Also here in the back, you can see great anatomy sculpt on the back. Moving on to the arms here, you can see how nice the skin tones turned out. I love how the veins are popping out. I also love how like the gloves that he's wearing almost looks like archer gloves. And I love the fact that to tighten it, there are like buckles here in the middle of his gloves. So pretty cool. And as for his adamantium claws, really not impressed. They're not the best looking adamantium claws, but it does the job. To me, I think the best looking adamantium claws I've seen on a Wolverine statue has to be the ones on the Sideshow Logan statue. And last but not least, let's check out his portrait. So right now I have the mask portrait on, which is probably my favorite one out of the two that he comes with. I really love the sculpt of his cowl, his screaming expression, and the sculpt of the inside of his mouth. I have a couple gripes about this portrait. The first gripe is his teeth. It looks like he's been grinding his teeth at night because they look pretty uneven, but that one is just a minor gripe. My major gripe is the seam around or on the side of his neck. It's pretty noticeable when you have him displayed sideways, but when you have him displayed forward, you really can't notice it. Now, when you switch out the portrait and put the unmasked portrait on, the seam is not as noticeable, just because you have his sculpted hair kind of covering like the seam. But to be honest, I'd rather display the statue with the masked portrait and just have him displayed with him facing forward rather than sideways. So here is the unmasked portrait. So I'm really liking this unmasked portrait. My only gripe about this unmasked portrait is that it looks pretty big. Like, if I were to put the masked portrait and the unmasked portrait side by side, you could see like his skull looks so much bigger than the masked portrait, as you can see. Regardless, this is still a nice looking portrait. I really love the hair sculpt, the angry expression, the sculpt of his teeth, the 5 o'clock shadow on the bottom of his chin, and the vein that's popping out on top of his forehead. Overall, a nice looking portrait. And as a statue, this is probably one of the best brown Wolverine statues ever made. I'm really impressed with the sculpt, the pose, the presence. The paint job on this statue looks amazing. The base, I mean, man, this is a unique Wolverine statue. And if you are a Wolverine fan, definitely add this to your collection. Now, I know there were a few complaints about the scale of this statue, but to be honest, man, I think that statue deserves to be displayed by itself, so you don't have to worry about it matching with the rest of your quarter scale X-Men statues. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Alright guys, so that wraps it up. Thank you guys again for checking out my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and always remember to do what you love what you collect. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.